What the hell am I doing? And after taking 2 weeks off, sorry, I'm sweating. I just got out of the shower, so I'm a little bit hot. Plus, it's hot still in the house, even though the air is running. I mean, it's not hot, but it's not as cold as I'd like it to be. But yeah, after a couple of weeks, I figured I'd come back, do a quick episode to do some picks for tonight's fights. It's kind of a big night in boxing, a bit of a letdown, but still kind of a big night. And of course, there's a UFC. And I just wanted to address the last UFC, which was ironically the last show, I guess unironically, the last show that I did, where I picked Ciryl Gane to beat Black Beast Derrick Lewis. And of course, I was correct in everything I said. I pretty much said that Gane could win the fight any way he wanted to, and the way it ended up playing out is exactly like that. He controlled the fight, he dominated the fight, and ended up, ending the fight eventually. I think through 2 or 3 rounds, Lewis only landed 3 punches. So it was a very one-sided fight, and Gane's for real. Derrick Lewis is not top 3 type stuff, as now we've seen a couple times. He's come up short in that situation. So yeah, I was correct on that one, so I took the week off last week. And while I've been away, just finally got some peppers turning ripe. So I just wanted to do a quick update on that. This is the biggest one I have. This one here is a chocolate Moruga scorpion. This thing is about 17 grams. I weighed it yesterday. It's huge. I think it's the biggest pepper I've got. I'm going to have to go through the plants because a lot more ripening. So yeah, that's the first one. That's huge, and it's a beauty. I'm sure this is going to be hot. I made some good sauces out of these last year, and I cook with them. They're great. So maybe I'll do some pepper eating. What do you guys think? You let me know. It didn't work out so well last time I did it. I had bad cramps, and I was well prepared for it. But my tolerance is pretty through the roof right now, so I'm willing to take another chance, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, if you guys are interested in maybe seeing that, let me know. Obviously, I don't want to do it for 20 or 30 views. I want to do it for hundreds. So we got to try to get those numbers up too, and I'll definitely do it. So yeah, I have that one. I've got 3 of these, which are the yellow Moruga scorpion. These are from Drew at Hurtberry. He gave me one of these to try a couple years ago, and I saved the seeds. Last year, didn't have any that germinated successfully. This year, I had a few, and I kept 2 plants. And they're putting out a ton of peppers. These are the first ones that have gone ripe. But I have to actually go out there and go through the plants because I can see at least 5 or 6 more that are either ripe or just about to be. And through the other plants, I'm noticing some color change too. So it's time to start paying attention. This is the Trinidad Viper cross with the purple boot. Usually these are yellow, but last year I discovered that I'm colorblind and some of them didn't turn yellow because they went mustard or mustard-ish. This one I believe is half mustard and a little bit green still. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys these. This one fell off, so that's why it's here. But I believe it's turning mustard colored, so I have to really pay attention because last year I had a whole bunch go rotten because I was expecting them to go yellow. And being colorblind, I didn't notice them being, off green. Here's another one. I believe my Reapers got crossed with ghost peppers from cross-pollination 2 years ago because I used mostly seeds from 2 years ago this year. One of my Reaper plants is true, and 3 look like they're crossed with ghost, and I think those were older seeds. And I had that happen last year too. So I have these ghost Reaper type plants. This one's half. This one fell off, but it's ripening. It's half orange right now. I got another chocolate one here. This is another Moruga scorpion. This one I believe is a Moruga scorpion, although it looks like it might be starting to go bad. So yeah, it is. It's going soft. So we'll pitch that one. And this one here, it's also going bad. It fell off. See, I saved a couple that fell off. This is a chocolate Moruga as well, but ones that fell off are probably the rejects from the plant because they're starting to go bad and they're getting bug rot. I have to figure out why that's happening. I'm not sure if it's calcium deficiency. I'm not sure if it's underwatering or overwatering. I seem to be watering more this year, and it's still happening. So, not sure about that. Anyways, So that's a quick little update on what happened with my garden. Obviously, I'm going to do a proper video update, I think this week or next week. And I'm going to take you guys out there and show you A, how friggin' huge the plants are, and B, how many peppers I got. I might have to sell some hot sauce, or maybe do a draw for the channel to give away some Champs Power Flakes from all the peppers I'm going to have this year. What do you guys think about doing another draw? Would everybody be down with that? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so tonight we got 2 fights. We'll do the UFC first. It's Kelvin Gastelum versus Cannonier. Cannonier? I think it's Cannonier. If it's not, I apologize. I'm doing this on the fly. Sometimes I forget things or get confused. So, what are my thoughts on this fight? Cannonier's a big guy. He could almost be a light heavyweight. Gastelum's probably a welterweight. He should be a welterweight probably, but he likes to eat, and he couldn't really make welterweight easily. And I don't think he's big enough to be a middleweight. I think we've seen that already in a lot of fights where, he's good, but he's a little bit small for middleweight. And I heard that he had problems making weight for this fight, so he still likes to eat. And if he's having problems making middleweight, he's not a light heavyweight. I'm not even sure I'm convinced that Kelvin Gastelum belongs in middleweight. But yeah, he's fighting Cannonier tonight, and Cannonier's a big, powerful guy. He's got some kicks. He's got some power. His weaknesses is probably wrestling, which I give the nod to for Gastelum. If this fight is able to be dragged on later, or if Gastelum is able to play a grappling-based game against this guy, I think Gastelum has a chance to win the fight. And the longer it goes, the more his chances increase to win by TKO or something. But the wrestling would be key if he can control or waste time or drain energy. But that would have to happen for Gastelum to win, because otherwise I think if they go into stand-up battles, even though Gastelum is very durable and hasn't been knocked out, he's been tagged a lot. He's been in a lot of wars, so that starts to wear down on guys. And when you got a guy like Cannonier that can hit you, he could be the first to knock you out. And either way, if he doesn't knock him out, the stand-up fights, if this going to be a brawl, he'll end up being pounded on by Cannonier. Gastelum does have the better boxing, and he does have, like I said, the wrestling advantage. But I think that the size advantage and the true middleweight size advantage is going to be there for Cannonier, and I think that's going to be the difference in the fight. Unfortunately for Kelvin, I like the guy, and I've stated this many times. If you guys have been following me, I like Kelvin. And he brings it every fight, and he's tough as hell. And he could win the fight, but I think in the end, the size difference and the toughness that he has is going to keep him in the fight. But the size difference and the lack of power is going to be the difference. He might look good with some good boxing early, but if he gets hit a lot, it'll go one-sided quickly. So I'm willing to bet a square of the Chili Cherry Nightmare on Cannonier beating Kelvin Gastelum tonight. Now, the other fight that I want to talk about is Manny Pacquiao versus Yordenis Ugas. And of course, if you are a boxing fan, you know that tonight was actually supposed to be Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence, which should be lights out Manny. I love Manny. I'm a big Manny fan. I've been a big Manny fan since he started boxing, became pro. I've been following him for a long time, 20 years. I love the guy, but if he fought Spence would have killed him. Manny can't fight the way he did anymore. He still is a great fighter, and he's a greatly skilled fighter, but he can't put in 3 minutes at the pace that Manny Pacquiao needs to put in to win these fights. And that's a big difference against for him if he's fighting a guy like Errol Spence. So fortunately, Spence had to pull out from the fight due to injury, and the last-minute opponent, Yordenis Ugas, came up, and he's going to be challenging Manny Pacquiao. And now the odds are obviously very heavily in Manny Pacquiao's favor, and obviously for good reason. He's obviously been preparing longer for this fight. He's a true professional, so he's always going to be ready for whoever comes along. It doesn't matter if his last-minute opponent changed or not. He's going to be ready. Manny was ready to bring his best to Spence. I don't think it would have been good enough, but Manny will be probably more than good enough to beat Yordenis Ugas. He doesn't have to fight the entire 3 minutes of every round now. He just has to have good spurts, and that's what Manny Pacquiao still can do. He can have good spurts and look good. And we saw that when he won his last fight, obviously. Yeah, the opponent changes my whole outlook on this fight. Obviously, it's a combat sport. Disaster can still happen, and that's why I'm betting on this fight. But I truly believe that Manny Pacquiao is a great fighter, and even at 43, or I think maybe even 44 now he is, even with his skills deteriorating by the minute now, basically, he's still superior to a lot of guys. I just don't think he can beat the world beaters, and that is no offense to Manny Pacquiao. Not many guys can do what he's doing now at 38 years old. So, total respect to him. I love the guy, and I hear he might be running for president of the Philippines after this fight. So good luck to him in that. I know he loves his country, and he's very proud of his country, and everything he does is pretty much in the name of his country. And that's why, for Manny Pacquiao, I am going to bet a yellow Moruga scorpion that if Manny Pacquiao loses this fight tonight, I will eat one of these as punishment. That's how confident I am that he's going to win. Manny Pacquiao takes this fight tonight because it is an Errol Spence. Okay, well, that's all we have for this week. I appreciate everybody. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, tell me what you think about my ideas. Some flashback videos are coming, and depending on what happens tonight, you might see a punishment or two next week. But otherwise, get ready for a garden tour. Get ready to have your socks blown off, and depending on the view amounts and how things go, maybe we'll do a couple pepper readings. I don't want to suffer for no reason, but if there's a reasonable amount of views, I think we can make it happen. But in the meantime, subscribe. Check out last week's video where I picked correctly, well, actually 2 weeks ago, where I picked the fights correctly, and check out this video here where I review my new boots, well, give first impressions, and I got to do a full review on those soon too. So that's coming as well. Thanks for watching. Let's see how it goes tonight. Go Manny Pacquiao.